For now, though, it is time for the Way Black History Fact. Today's Way Black History Fact is sponsored by Underground Beach Club, from the streets to the beach. For the latest in beachwear, visit undergroundbeachclub.com. And today we're talking about the first sit-in protest of a whites-only library. This reading comes from Zen Education Project. On August 21st, 1939, 26-year-old Samuel Wilbert Tucker, an innovative civil rights lawyer, launched a sit-in aimed at protesting the whites-only policy at the segregated Alexandria, Virginia Public Library. Earlier in the year, Tucker and an acquaintance, retired Army Sergeant George Wilson, had been rejected in their attempts to apply for library cards and were told by an assistant librarian that the library board's policy was not to issue cards to colored persons. According to historian J. Douglas Smith, author of Managing White Supremacy, Race, Politics, and Citizenship in Jim Crow, Virginia. Tucker, there we go, filed a lawsuit on behalf of Wilson, arguing that taxes paid by black citizens helped operate the library, so blacks therefore had a right to use its facilities. Corporation Court Judge William Wools held off on his ruling to give the city and library time to solve the issue with actions such as creating a separate branch library for African Americans. Tucker, though, decided to force a confrontation, according to Smith. He recruited 5 black men, Otto Tucker, Edward Gaddis, Morris Murray, William Evans, and Clarence Strange, all between 18 and 22 years of age, to go one by one into the library, well-dressed, and ask to apply for borrower's cards. Anticipating that they would be rebuffed, Tucker had instructed the young men to select books from the shelves and quietly sit down to read, each at a different table. And after being refused, the action was an early attempt at nonviolent protest, preceding by 2 decades the civil rights lunch counter sit-ins that began in Oklahoma City in 1958 and Greensboro, North Carolina in 1960. When the men did not stand up and vacate the library at the librarian's request, police were summoned. They told the men they would be arrested if they did not leave. Men politely refused. Over an hour later, they went peacefully with the police. When they left the library, the men encountered an audience of 200 to 300 people, plus news reporters and photographers waiting outside. The crowd had been gathered by Tucker to witness the discrimination and arrest. Although everyone, including the police, remained calm, city manager Carl Budweski ordered the police to charge the men with disorderly conduct. The next day, in a hearing before police court judge James Reese Duncan, Tucker's questioning led the police officers to concede there was no disorder. Tucker accused the city of assuming that the men were disorderly because they were black. City Attorney Armstead Booth then requested the judge to postpone the case while the charges were reconsidered. The disorderly case dragged on through the fall of 1939, with Judge Duncan allowing multiple continuances, but never officially ending the matter in court. Meanwhile, Tucker's lawsuit on behalf of Sergeant George Wilson proceeded in Judge Wool's court, and Wools finally ruled on January 10, 1940. When he issued a split decision, he denied Wilson's petition for a library card on the technicality that Tucker was the one who actually filled out the application form. But Wools also ruled that Alexandria must permit black residents to use the white library because there was no other separate library for non-whites. 2 days after Wools' ruling, the Alexandria City Council undermined any thought of having an integrated library by approving money for a separate library for black residents. Tucker denounced the council's action as pouring insult into injury. He wrote to city librarian Catherine Scoggin to say, "I refuse and will always refuse to accept a card that could be used only at the forthcoming black library." And that is our Way Black History Fact for the day.